Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm trying to get this out before anything else gets scrubbed. Just waiting to see if anybody comes into the chat. Oh, no. Just waiting on people to come in the chat. We're going to talk about this press conference. We're going to talk about this press conference that was just held. Hey, Dolores. First of all, let me say, it seems that HPD and others, I don't know if it's HPD, I don't know what's going on, but if you didn't get it live and you couldn't screen record it, I can't find it. It's disappeared. So I'm going to take a chance, you guys, because it's worth it for Rudy's sake, and I think Mr. Quanell X needs to be vindicated. Those of you that saw HPD's press conference yesterday, they all but called that man a liar. They said there have been no report of of SA activity. We'll just say it that way for YouTube land. I'm gonna try to not get upset and cry because I believe we here are one of the best groups, with a lot of us being survivors. Or sorry, y'all, I'm putting a lot of pain right now. I'm not gonna lie. Whew, what I want to say is a lot of us here are survivors. A lot of us are going to understand, especially when the aunt talks at the end and tells that there's a family history. I want to give you a little background before we watch this because I don't want to see in my chat what I saw in Ikamel's chat. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm going to have to pause it often. I'm going to have to share the live press conference from Ikamel's channel, and I pray he don't strike me. I'm going to give him credit. Y'all can hear me. Is that better? Hold on. Okay. Now, how about now? Shoot. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you guys can hear me talking now, because we're going to get this right before I start. Woo, y'all. First of all, I'm pissed. I'm coming to y'all mad as hell, and I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. First of all, I want to let y'all know we're going to be restreaming the live press conference, and I'm going to have to use Ikamel, and I apologize up front. I will stop it for transformative content, but I don't have a choice. I don't know if there's a blackout going on because of what was said by the family and Quanell X. I don't know if the news stations, it's part language, or because of what was said about Houston Police Department, if it's being blacked out. And I hope and I pray that Ikamel does not give me a strike. He's more than welcome to do a copyright and take any money I'd get. I'm giving him full credit because I couldn't screen record it. And it's nowhere to be found now. I've looked. I've had other people looking. I've spent the last, since it ended, looking. Grizzy, not Grizzly, but Grizzy hood crime out of Houston is supposed to have it up on Facebook, but something went wrong with their camera. You'll see a camera goes down during the press conference. But what was said during this press conference, and us being survivors, I think it's important. I also think it's important. His is still up, Dolores, but I don't know. JLR probably strike me too, so it's, it's also. What is killing me is it needs to be out there real, and I'm not liking the fact that I'm seeing that they're calling this man a grifter and a liar, and that he's wanting press, and he's wanting this, because I've looked into his background. This ain't a homeboy's first rodeo, and if y'all hadn't seen this, give me an 8 in the chat if you have not seen today's live press conference in front of Rudy's mother's house. Yeah, Dolores, I'm giving him full credit. And just so everybody knows, I am not going to monetize this live stream. I'm not going to monetize it. It's that important. No, if you did not watch it, if you have not seen it, give me an 8. If you saw it, you know why I'm so mad and so upset. Between the comments and what was said by the Houston police, that to me, that's defamation of character and slander. That man works as a community activist. You basically got up there and said he lied to the news media and that he lied on this boy. By the way, has anybody known and found out that Rudy was actually 18 when he went missing, that his mom gave the wrong birth date? Or that there's been 2 detectives. I knew that before the press conference today. There's an article that came out from the Insider. They don't think the dogs ever existed. The house was filthy, smelled of urine. And that's from the Insider article. And they found a note Rudy wrote in print. They found a note after Rudy went missing in Rudy's bedroom. This is 2 private investigators that worked pro bono. One of them lives in Alaska now with a female. That was written in cursive, saying that he ran away. Then his mama told the story that he broke up a fight where these young men were trying to attack this little girl, and the girl tried to tell the story to the private investigators. She got tangled up in the story and ran away. Then the mama said he was kidnapped by traffickers and taken to Mexico, and that he walked home from Mexico following the light of the moon, walking north. Thank you, Miss Justice. Keep the trigger warning coming, because it's not going to go away, because it's going to get worse before it gets better. And the PIs have told Mr. X and the family that they tried to turn in information years ago and it wasn't received. Also, from Facebook investigation, and I said Navila's True Crime actually has the screenshots because they've been scrubbed, and I have seen them personally though, and went and looked. There's a Bella, and there's like 13 aliases. She was even communicating with another woman that had a missing child, making her think that her child was with Rudy. Oh my God. And trips to New York, California, and all over collecting money, rolled up, grabbed $2,000 and rolled off. Then, on top of that, once Rudy had been missing for 4 years, she could collect the life insurance policy that his older brother had left him. As I understand, he wouldn't have been eligible to collect it until he was 18. Maybe that's why she was trying to make him 17. I don't know. That was an allegation that came. You'll hear it during the news conference. I'm going to pause it for transformative content. This is Ikamel's channel. He live streamed it. I pray, you know, the Kylie Rodney case, I had his back through a lot of shit that went on, and put the truth out there. And hopefully, if he does strike me, he will just strike me so that I can't monetize it, because I don't intend to. I won't what these people had to say out there. I'm going to warn folks ahead of time. If you haven't seen this press conference, you will see the Black Panthers lined up along behind him. And he will explain why during the news conference. It's raw, it's gritty, and it's real. And I don't think you can fake that kind of human emotion. If you can, then you deserve an Academy Award, an Oscar, whatever. You know, be on Hulu or Netflix, you know. Oh, I haven't seen The Investigator on News Nation, Cassie. I'll have to check that one out. But let's look at the rebuttal to what we watched yesterday, which was the press conference. Again, this is Ikamel's channel. It will be available, the link to the full live stream of his, because I'm not showing his full live stream. I'm only picking the portions that were the news conference and speaking. I'm not going over all the articles and backstory and extra information and research that he did. All I'm going to show is the actual press conference that seems to have now disappeared and been sanitized and or scrubbed. Oh, is he still live, Amanda? Well, let me see. I'll see if let's do JLRs. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. If he's still live, I don't want to mess him up. So, let me see what I can find. Because it's not just Ikem. Anybody, if they didn't get it live, they're not getting it. I don't know how else to say it. It's really, really pissing me off. Because I think it's on purpose. Let's see. Fox is showing it now. Let's see. Let me see. No, they're only showing 12 minutes of it. Nope, I don't trust that. Y'all just give me a second. Oh, so pissed. The Pascal show had it. I just saw so many people calling this dude a grifter, saying that he was lying. Didn't matter that Rudy's family was standing right there with him. They didn't care. Oh, it's frustrating. And guys, I can't see your comments right now. I apologize. Just give me one moment. I know down the rabbit hole hit me already. It's hard to find. It's not like I've been Thread, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, and it's scrubbed. Let me see if I can go to JLR's channel right quick and pull it up that way. Let's see. Hold on. Come on. Yep, JLR's must be down already too, because it's not on. I can't find it now. And I saw it earlier, and I'm on his page. God. I'm going to just go back. All I know is to go back to Ikamel's channel and pray that he doesn't try to strike me, because I know he has the portions that I want you guys to hear. Oh, come on. My computer is being slow. Oh, is it under a live door, Lord? Let me try it that way. Let me try that way. Maybe it's under a different heading. There's always stuff's breaking about lawsuits between Elon Musk and Johnny Depp. Let's see. Yeah. Come on. My computer would move at something besides turtle speed. I'm worried. I'm wondering. I'm worried. Got you, Dolores. I'm trying to get back to his page. Hold on. Somebody sent me a link that might work, y'all. Hold on. No. Of course, I would get that from that. Of course. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. Give me just a second, y'all. I think I may have it. And again, if I am borrowing it, I'm going, Linda. I'm trying to get there. I have a lovely Chromebook that moves at turtle speed. I'm like, I could probably throw it faster. News 29. Let me look, Janice, because it wasn't coming up a minute ago. Let's see. QU. Press conference today. You type in News 29. Because I want y'all to hear it. Whatever's whatever. Y'all. Nope. News 29 is showing it's 12 minutes, 19 seconds, y'all. That's not all of it. I'm trying to say. That's why I didn't want to show that one. That's not all of it. Just hold up. Shit, come on. I'm having to do, I don't have a mouse, so y'all just bear with me. Okay. I'm going to be using JLRs. Again, I'm not going to show any research or any of that. I'm only going to show the actual press conference and speech by Quanell X. And I will give him credit and the ability to take any monies that would be made. Oh, and he's going to be talking though, so that I'll do the best I can, y'all. Just give me 1 second. I'm getting the share screen up. Again, this is going to be JLRs. That's all I know to do. Everywhere else has scrubbed, edited, and deleted. And I just, There's a reason. There's a reason they're doing it. There's a reason, and I have a feeling y'all might. I just want everybody to see. But again, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. It's JLR. And I'm not going to monetize this. I'll be glad to let him take any monies that comes through this. I just want you guys to see it. That's what's important right to me right now. So it's on the screen. Let me mute me, and I'll come back and pause for commentary.
Here we go. Let's go. I'm going to widen the screen here so you can see him fully.
I want y'all to be ready. If you've not seen this, he comes out swinging like Babe Ruth trying to hit a home run. Real talk. So if you're not ready, definitely trigger warning. JLR, I'm begging you, please don't strike my channel. You're welcome to take any monetization. I'm not going to monetize this live stream. I want this out there. I want this information out there. I want people to know that the cops can lie. It matters to Summer's case. It matters to Rudy's case. It matters to other cases. This is why victims don't come forward. This is why we stay in our house and we're afraid to talk.
Sure can come right on in, man. Come right on in. Where's my sister Linda? No. I think we were just talking to her. Yeah. In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful, we bear witness there's but one God to whom praise is due forever. The sender of Moses and the Torah, Jesus and the gospel, Muhammad and the Quran, peace be upon all the worthy servants of Almighty God. I have come here today to speak up on behalf of Rudy Ferris. I have come here today to speak that which that young man spoke to me. I have come here today to clear up one thing in particular, the lie that HPD told. HPD said that no sexual abuse.
Just so y'all know, I want y'all to know there was sound problems near the beginning. So it'll take it a minute to get right.
Abuse was reported. That detective is an absolute liar. He sat there with me for an hour and 15 minutes and listened to every word Rudy said to me. In fact, he told the detective, I want Quanell to stay. And Grizzly was right there with us. Rudy asked, could he go home with me? He asked the detectives, can I go home with Quanell? She's right. We have witnesses to this. This detective heard everything Rudy said to me. But he was angry with me also.
Please, y'all, make sure and pay attention to what he has to say here. Like I said, I'm not going to watch all of it. The link to this video is being posted by my mods in the chat. Please go watch the entire live stream on JLR's channel. I'm only going to play what I think are some important portions that need to be heard. I'm not going to play his research. I'm only going to play the press conference and the people speaking against injustice, the people speaking against being called liars, practically. It was all but said. Hopefully the sound will pick up better. It did in the one I watched earlier, y'all.
Because the detective did not want me in the meeting. He did not want me in the room. And it really got confrontational. We have the video of he and I's heated argument about them asking me to come in and the cops not wanting me to go in. The detective heard Rudy say to me out of his own mouth, detective sitting right next to me, that in this house, she made him sleep in the bed with her all the time. And that young boy said to me and that detective that I did not like it. I didn't want to do it, that she was crossing boundaries and she would not respect my space and respect my boundaries. He said to that detective right in front of me that she would kiss him in the mouth when she made him get in the bed with her in this rotten ass house. She forced that boy to play.
Again, I want to tell everybody, trigger warning. Those of you who are triggered by SA, please be warned. I saw somebody asking in the chat, did I know allegedly why Rudy's father, not her husband, she's been accused of bigamy. The last husband sued for annulment and said he was one of 5 husbands. Yes, I have done my research. He was accused of, no, it wasn't inappropriate contact with the juvenile. What was actually on record was that there were 2 tickets on several occasions written on different parts of town with the same date and same time. He was married to someone else. I don't know if y'all know this, but there are 2 Rudy the Fourth. That's right, Dolores. Dolores, I believe you might be in the Houston area. But there are 2 Rudy the Fourth. The wife he was married to had one. And then there's the missing Rudy. There's a lot more to this story. The dog story is believed to be inaccurate and untrue. By the way, his mom said the backpack and the inhaler that was found were his. The backpack belonged to a younger child, and Rudy's never needed an inhaler. That part. Now, let's go on back because there's more. I got more. I could tell you for days. She's still doing the bullshit on Facebook. She was still doing it today and calling herself Bella, her sister. But her half-sister come out and speak. You'll hear it. Don't worry. It also goes back to the custody battle over the mama that was in hospice. When I say this cuts deep to my heart and that I can get it in a way nobody else might not, you can believe me or not, but God knows it does. Let me go back. Let him speak now.
Play daddy. She forced that young man to be her husband. He said to me in front of the detective, she told me I had to be her husband. He said to me in front of that detective, she said, I got to be the daddy now. He said to me in front of that detective that she would come in the restroom while he was in the shower and she would get naked completely herself and pull the curtain back on that young boy. And I'll leave it right there because the rest will make you want
Miss Janice, yes, she did have one up for his medical bills. That was the recent one, boo-boo. But in 2015, she had another one up for helping search for Rudy. She got over $2,000. She rolled up, collected, didn't say thank you, and rolled out. GoFundMe has already made a statement. I think, listen, here's my thoughts. I think Houston HPD might have wanted her to think they weren't going to press no charges. And they might have wanted her to think everything was cool so she'd hang around. But where they screwed up was maligning someone's name. Making it sound like that Rudy was a mastermind and equally culpable. Because of his age, there was nothing they could do. That's victim shaming, and we're tired of it. We are tired as victims of being made to feel wrong for coming forward. Of being made to feel like we are ugly or bad or dirty because we want to tell what happened to us. I think you should listen, True Crime, and they'll tell you more than you want to know about it.
Want to vomit. So for HPD to say that no sexual abuse was reported to them, they're absolute liars. That man heard everything that I heard.
These are black waters from my mom.
I'm standing here speaking the truth of what Rudy said to me. And I'm standing here fighting for that young man. I begged the detective, don't allow Rudy to go home with this woman. Don't allow Rudy to leave with this woman. I begged them to do something to stop him. I said to the detective, all three of them, after what you and I just heard in that room with that young man, how in the hell can you allow that boy to leave with that woman? And the detective said to me, because he is an adult, there's not a lot we can do about it. The detective, I also said to him, I said, sir, you know everything that young boy just told us. You cannot allow him to leave with her. That young boy told us how she would lock him in the room and leave him locked in there. That young boy told us how she would give.
Since I had to pause, I'm going to tell y'all two things because I seen a comment, okay? No, Libby. No, not never has this child been tested to see if he is developmentally delayed in any way or if he had any medical or mental issues. He has gotten no treatment. Let me say this too. Multiple times during the last 8 years, publicly on Facebook and through phone calls on tip lines and direct calls to HPD, allegedly, neighbors, cousins, and other family members have called to say that he is not missing and that they have seen him. There's even a picture that is circulating that was taken of him standing in the kitchen at the counter. There's also, and by the way, hey, Libby, welcome, baby. There was something I had seen that Janice said that I wanted to comment back on. Y'all, I don't know how to go back in the comments on StreamYard. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying. My mouse quit working, and I'm on a Chromebook, and if y'all know anything about it, you know it's not easy being crazy. It lights up, but I can't get to it. Okay, hold on. Come on. Oh, what I was going to say, is yesterday. It's Grizzy, not Grizzly, but Grizzy, Grizzy, Hood Crime. It's on Facebook. Yesterday, she had a video of Rudy's mama, Janie. She followed her. The family friend that Rudy was staying with, she, the mama, was stalking that friend. That mama was parked where she could see their house on the side of the road. And when she seen Grizzy stream, she took off like a bat out of hell. I urge every one of y'all that has Facebook to go check it out. Once this live is over, I will post a link to that video and to her page in my community tab section. And if my mods will please, just every now and then, please keep running JLR's link to this video in my chat, because I want everybody to go watch his full video. Yeah, Janice, that comes out during this press conference. Yes, ma'am. I understand true crime. Hey, September, baby. I want people to understand this, because if authorities would listen to victims and take them seriously and not blow shit off, Rudy might not have had to wait 8 years to not feel like a slave anymore. Summer might still be here. I might not have went through what I went through. And that's why I said, I'm making it emphatically clear, I will not monetize this live stream. The only way I'll do it is if JLR asks me to, so that he can collect the revenue. That's the only way I'm going to do it, because I'm showing this through him. Why is it blacked out? Why has everywhere that's showing it, that's a mainstream news agency, why has a 48 minute, nearly hour news conference been trimmed down to less than 13 minutes? You good, September, baby. You be safe. Why? Why? What are they trying to hide? There's a whole lot more to this case and to this than we know. I promise y'all. Is HPD embarrassed because on multiple occasions, different officers had contact with Rudy and his mother, both together and independently, per them saying it? And I could show the press conference yesterday where they said that, and that they were given fictitious names. Is that the problem? Or did they not follow up on leads? This young man was failed. And, I know what I was going to tell y'all. Another thing that the private detectives found early on, when they were still allowed by the mother to search the residence that they were living in when Rudy, quote unquote, went missing. Padlocks on most of the doors. The outside. Like, his bedroom, padlock on the outside. Bathroom, padlock on the outside. Do y'all get what I'm saying? And allegedly, Rudy did run away because he was tired of what was happening. He came back home a day later. His mama told him that because the police had listed him as a missing person and used resources to hunt him, he would face criminal charges. So he had to hide. I'm worried for Rudy's safety. I'm worried for the safety of the people that Rudy is with right now. Because the family and others are saying that Janie's got a gun. I sound like Aerosmith. They saying that she got a gun. Now, let me say this. The house they're in front of right now, allegedly the mama's in that house. Why? I'm just going to go ahead and tell you because it's near the end and some of y'all might not be able to be here. The reason that he has security, the reason the Black Panthers Nation is around him with their vest on and turned with their back to him like they're doing security is because they are doing security. Okay? Oh, September, thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you, darling. And let me say, he received a Quanell X prior to pulling up at this press conference from a news media agency, a local news channel, received a phone call telling him that a threat had come in and been made that he better not do the press conference in front of her house, that allegedly she has a gun and it won't be a good outcome. Allegedly. Say that again. Thank you, September Virgo. I appreciate that. Today, and these words are for every victim that's ever been shamed, called a liar, discounted, laughed at, and ignored.
Give him drugs, mushrooms as he called them. That young boy talked about how the drugs will cause him to hallucinate. She lied and told me when I first talked to her that the Hispanic young man that was seen here was her ex-boyfriend. And then when we were in the meeting with the detectives, she said it was her nephew. She'd been telling lies for years. So you mean to tell me, Houston Police Department, this woman can tell multiple lies to law enforcement. She can raise money all on GoFundMe pages. I talked with the investigator for at length today who worked on this case for years, the private investigator. She would raise money for Miss Jimmy. And one time she said when she raised the money for her, she only came for 5 minutes, picked up the $2,000 and drove off and left and didn't even thank the people who was raising the money on behalf of Rudy to look for him. I cannot believe and I refuse to believe that there's not a single charge that they can come up with to put this woman in jail so a judge can tell her you can have no contact with the victim, just like you do in domestic violence cases. If a man gets arrested for putting his hands on a wife, God forbid, they tell him that you cannot have any contact with the victim. Rudy is a victim. The reason why he was so willing to lie is because she had convinced him that the police had warrants out for his arrest because he had ran away. And she told him, because you ran away and they were looking for you and they spent resources looking for you, that you have a warrant for your arrest. And if they catch you, you're going to jail. She had convinced the young man to wear an assumed name because he thought he was in trouble for running away. Rudy also said to us, me and the detective, on more than one occasion, he put his head down in tears right before he began to talk about him playing daddy at her request, and he got to be the husband. He has to be the husband, is what he said. He said, I don't want my mama to go to prison. I don't want my mama to go to jail. On yesterday, when the question was asked, was there a sexual relationship? The sergeant lied in his response. And then the next question was there a sexual relation between the mother and her son? They refused to answer that question and said he's a victim and we protect all sexual assault victims. See, they know what I'm saying is the truth. That dirty, low-down damn cop was right there with me when Rudy said.
I'm going to rewind that in case y'all missed that part. And by the way, just a little snippet. for all those of you that are here, I don't know if it'll be later tonight or sometime tomorrow, but since everybody want to release their Stacey Slay emails, I give you mine. I got a whole different story than everybody else got. I got that she was an advocate for domestic violence victims. So, and I got proof. You know, I'll bring receipts for days. Back to this. I just wanted y'all to know if you heard that. I'm going to rewind that just a little bit because I want you to hear what he said. That passion, that heart, he meant that shit.
To go to prison. I don't want my mama to go to jail. On yesterday, when the question was asked, was there a sexual relationship? The sergeant lied in his response. And then the next question was there a sexual relation between the mother and her son? They refused to answer that question and said he's a victim and we protect all sexual assault victims. See, they know what I'm saying is the truth. That dirty, low-down damn cop was right there with me when Rudy said everything that he said. Just go back and look at the press conference. Why didn't you say, well, from what we know, there was no sexual relationship? You so freely saying that there was no sexual abuse reported. So what are you suggesting? Because he was of age, he gave consent. Is that what you're trying to suggest? Let me tell you something. Rudy is a victim. And for HPD to suggest on any level that that young boy may be involved in this scheme, that's wrong. That boy.
Crunchy for you and melty for you.
Wasn't involved in no scheme. That woman a straight up monster. Telling you straight up. That's what that woman is. Woman sit there and told Grizzly and I both multiple lies. Multiple lies. And then get in the room with the detective and she starts singing a whole nother song. Rudy, in my opinion, his safety is in danger. Until he can be removed and placed with loving family or put in a facility where he can receive the type of mental health treatment and drug detox treatment that he needs that help.
I want to make sure, please, stick around. Because the lady in the hat, bruh, she brings it in a way you ain't gonna expect it. Them nails ain't no joke. And she ain't playing.
And right now, he's not getting that help. And what further angers me, for that cop to hear about all the drug abuse, and he ain't do nothing to get that boy no help. Should have called. I say, man, call the paramedics. Take this kid to the hospital. Look at him. And she told a big lie when we first got there. And I hate to put you on the spot, Grizzly, but if it wasn't for Grizzly, I would have never got involved. Let me say it again. If it wasn't for Grizzly, that mother never would have called me. But she called me thinking I was going to help cover up with the lies she would tell and defend her. Man, let me tell you something. Everyone should be praying for Rudy and should be outraged with how this is being handled. That woman should be under the jail. I'm telling you for a fact what this young man said to me. And I'm going to leave it at this. HPD, don't try me. Because I got it on record what he said to me. But for the sake of the victim, I'll respect that young man's dignity, as my lawyers told me to. But if you try me with your lies again, I'll let everybody hear what that young man said. But I want to respect that young man's privacy, because what he went through should be for him to expose to a therapist and not for me to share with the public. But I covered my bases. I'll take your questions. Why do you think HPD is lying? I think HPD is embarrassed that they encountered Rudy on several occasions and did not do their due diligence. When they came to this address, Had they done just some basic fundamental research, they would have seen that a child went missing from this address just years before. When they encountered him on other occasions, they didn't do their due diligence. They let that boy keep going with his mother. When neighbors would call in, when family would call in and say, hey, look, we got this tip about Rudy, they never.
Y'all, this shit makes me so mad and upset. I want to hop on one leg to Texas right now and start swinging on folks. For real, for real. And I know that ain't right. But a lot of y'all with mamas, daughters, aunts, cousins, sisters in this chat right now. I just lost my son. I would fight the damn devil himself to save him and bring him back. What the hell? How does a bitch... Oh, God. How does a bitch like this get blessed with a child that is still, after everything, trying to defend her ass and don't want to hurt her?
Never even followed through. And in fact, they have to tell the whole world now why, when Rudy was found, you waited 8 days. 8 days to question him. In fact, they wasn't going to even question Rudy. Let me be clear.
One thing, if y'all didn't see my live yesterday, let me reiterate something. Rudy being in the hospital ever receiving treatment is a damn lie. A lie. Understand that. It's a lie. That picture of him laying under the blanket, they zoomed in on the bracelet. It was 2012 on the bracelet. He never saw a doctor since he's been found. The EMTs found him on the steps of the church where allegedly he ran away again. And he refused medical treatment and gave a fictitious name. Somebody realized who he was and reported it. There's video the neighbors took that night of her packing the car up to get out of Dodge real quick. That's why they were at the motel with the last press conference where this man had on the white t-shirt. And the police allowed her, the mama, and Rudy to leave together. Not to mention, they had her in handcuffs. And they let her go. Why?
About that. They had decided that they were not going to question Rudy after the mother told them he's nonverbal. The mother told me and the detectives right in front of Grizzy, oh, he's nonverbal. He can't talk. And so I pulled up a chair and I sat down next to him, and he was holding his mother's leg and crouched all over. And she had covered him up with a blanket. And I said, little brother, can you look at me? And he raised his head up and he looked up. He said, I know you. I said, you do? He said, I know you. You, Mr. X. I said, wow, little brother, you speaking now. Am I lying, Grizzy? Nope. Then I said, well, young man, can I shake your hand? He put his hand out, he's shaking like this, like a leaf blowing in the wind. And I shook that young man's hand. I said, can you sit up and talk to me? And he looked at his mama. And she said, no, he gonna have a panic attack. No, he gonna have a breakdown. I said, I think he'll be okay. I said, young fella, you'll be okay? He said, so I helped him up. And we set him in a chair. And his mama said, well, we need to leave because I think he's gonna have a panic attack. I said, okay, talk to the detective. I got up to walk out. Rudy grabbed my hand and said, no, I want him to stay. So for all of you people who put it out there that I put myself into this case, his mama called me and Rudy demanded that I stay. So I said, okay, sat down next to him. And we asked the mother to leave. She didn't want to leave. He said, ma'am, it's important that you leave so we can see if he'll talk. He might open up. So she said, okay. She left. We started talking to him. She came back 3 minutes later, bamming on the door. We opened the door. She said, is he having a panic attack? We said, no, he's fine. Look at him. Rudy was calm. Rudy was calm. I said, look at him. She said, okay. She left. Started talking to him again. She come back 5 minutes later, bamming on the door. Is he okay? Is he okay? I said, oh, he's fine. Look at him. He's fine. We filming this too now because we knew what she was trying to do. So then we started talking to him again. And in that moment, it went on for a lengthy period of time then, about an hour. Then she came back and tried to, we stopped her. Went on for another 15 minutes. Then I did not want Rudy to see me start crying. So I was trying to start turning my back to him.
Just for those that don't know, the lady with the gray hair in the pink top, that's Rudy's aunt. The lady with the white ball cap and the I think Astros tank top, that's her daughter, Rudy's first cousin. The gentleman with the dreads and the blue hoodie is one of the neighbors. And I'm not sure if that's his girlfriend or sister that's beside him in the sleeveless jean jacket. Her name is Keisha. She's another neighbor. They have something important to tell us too. Now, I knew about this yesterday and possibly the day before. Back to the video.
To him like this because of what he was telling me. Hell, I have grown sons. I have a 16-year-old son. And so he grabbed my hand again, and when I turned around, I was crying. And you know what he said to me? He said, it's okay. Don't cry. Everything I told you that young man said to me, he said right in that room. Everything. And when I got up, and we exited that room, I stood in front of those detectives. And this is on camera. We got it on tape. I said, Sergeant, is there anything that you would not want me to say to the media that would jeopardize your investigation? He said, no. I said, sir, are you sure?
I don't know if y'all heard that, but he did say he got it on tape. Remember that.
Are you sure? He said. So we waited for like 5 or 10 more minutes because they took her into another room and they had detained her. They had detained her, put her in handcuffs. Now here's the problem with that. If what the detective heard in that room was not a crime, well then why did he come out the room and put the mama in handcuffs? This ain't passing the smell test, man. If what you heard, detective, was not a crime, why you put that woman in handcuffs? Because he heard the same exact thing I heard. So before I left out again, I said to all three of them, I said, is there anything that I should not say that would jeopardize your investigation? And on the third time, they said no. 3 times I asked them. So
from what I understand through this news conference and some things that were said yesterday, he taped more than the statement. There was some conversations with HPD that he taped as well because of how he felt they were going. I'll let him tell you about it in his words. If he doesn't, I will expand upon it. If anybody would like to help support the channel, the ways to do so are along the bottom. This video will not be monetized whatsoever. You buy a membership, join the community, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, whatever, if you'd like to support the channel. This live stream will not be monetized. If there are ads running on it, it's going to be YouTube and YouTube only, or JLR that'll be collecting, not me. Period. And I'm saying that for a specific reason. And it has to do with strikes.
So HPD, if you keep lying, we'll let everybody see how it all went. So, for the sake of Rudy, and I'll close on this last thing. I come out the room, the detective come out the room. As we step away, the door was still semi-cracked. She went in the room with Rudy. She sat down in front of him and started asking him about what he was telling us. Then she said this to him. Back me up, Grizzly, you were right there. She said, you got to change your story. If you tell them what you have told them, she's going to go to jail. He said, I'm going to go to jail and I will kill myself. That's what his mama said to him. And the detectives was right there at the crack door with us.
And I know she said that because she said it to me.
So, Rudy is a victim. Rudy needs help. That kid needs help. I've sat down with many, many men who confess heinous murders to me. I've sat down with men who've told me about crimes they've committed that I've had to turn in that'll make you vomit. This ain't my first case like this. But Rudy is alive. But if he's allowed to be in that woman's custody at any length of time, he very well might not be. Because I believe she was one child to try to cover herself. Any questions?
So based on everything that you've heard, what crime do you think was committed? What do you think she should be charged?
There we go.
Well, she and I went over that, so I'll let Dr. Matthews handle
I got
it.
you.
We went over at length with some of that. But
For those of you interested in the legalities of this situation, our lady here in this cowboy hat is about to bring it. And I mean, she about to bring it. And a matter of fact, later on, I thought it was going to come back to play. And she was going to come back up to the podium, but she didn't. But later on, you'll see her holding the hammer of Thor. I believe it's supposed to be like the hammer of justice. But to me, it looks like Thor's hammer. And them nails is the nails of justice. I don't care what y'all say. She got grills and all. She is ready. She is not about to play. You'll see.
But let me say this. Incest is a crime in Texas.
Wow.
Even if they try to imply subtly it was consensual. That's sick, man. That boy was not in his right mind. That boy was exploited and taken advantage of. And incest is one. There's still some wrestling about the age when this really took place. But making false police reports? Yes.
Go pummies.
False police reports? Yes. Making a false stolen car report?
Y'all seen that hammer, right? And that necklace, too. That necklace is real, too. But y'all seen that hammer? That's Thor's hammer. I swear that's Thor's hammer.
Yes. Absolutely. Lying and saying telling the bank my credit card was stolen, and it wasn't stolen. You gave it to Rudy to have in his pocket to use to buy things for you. Then you sit there and tell detectives, oh, I got that credit card 6-7 years ago. Damn credit card 2.5 years old. How he get it? From right out of here. That's how he got it. Just multiple crimes. Anyone from the family want to say something? I just want to give him a chance if y'all want to say something on behalf of Rudy or your family. Yes, sir. Next one.
Yeah, I know that what Rudy told you has touched you. Obviously, coming here outside of his mother's house is a pretty bold thing. Why did you pick this location to do this?
Because this is where all of it took place. This is ground zero, man, for Rudy Farias and what took place. This house needs to be cleansed. This neighborhood needs to be healed. Everybody in this neighborhood has suffered because of what this woman did. And I came here to let Rudy know we're not afraid to come to your house of terror. Your house of horror right here, we'll come here. Your house of hell, we'll come here. And before I pulled up, I got a phone call before I pulled up saying that she was inside the house with guns. And that if I came to speak in front of her house, she had guns and she was going to use them.
See, that's what I was telling y'all about. The call that he received from a local news station that she was inside the house with guns, and if he came out there to speak, she was going to use them. Now, mind you, they are on public property right now because the street is public property. I don't know if Texas is the same as here, but you got a 2-foot right-of-way on each side of the street that's considered public property. From the white line, 2 foot out. I think it's 2.5 feet here. Welcome, Miss Rhonda. Woo woo. All right, back to it.
Let me tell that mama something real quick.
So we all got them
You don't know who in the hell you playing with.
at all. We're not afraid of you.
Let's be real crystal clear, mama, because you got the right one in me. Trust me. So if you inside and you watching and you want to come out of real froggy, hop, baby. Because we won't need HPD to do that's nobody at that point.
He just said if she was inside with her guns and she felt Froggy the hot, and then he didn't need HPD. Woo! He is not playing. They are not playing. They not playing with HPD. They not playing with the district attorney, and they not playing with Rudy's mama. I'm telling you. They came at the wrong ones the wrong way.
She's so bold, she gonna make threats. That's because the police have not put a rusty raggedy behind in jail. She has not suffered no consequences. That's the problem why she talks so silly like that.
As long as they keep covering it.
And I got that tip from a news station, so let's speak. Don't say I made that one up. Go ahead.
You say you have
I didn't go that far. What I said, no, what I'm gonna clarify for you is I got it, baby. I got the facts of it. And if I need to, I'll release it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going into further detail than that. But we got a whole lot recorded. But go ahead, yes.
But other than just what he said and what he told detectives there, is there other evidence that you know of that police don't know about?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really not sure. But based on what I've been told, I talked with the investigator who worked on Rudy's case for years. She now lives in Alaska. She told me things that she said she reported to HPD over the years. And she wanted HPD to investigate the mother. She told them she thought the mother was involved. She told them of the warning signs.
He's now talking about the private investigator that I was telling you guys about earlier, one of the two that have been working this case for 8 years now. And the information like the dogs, the letter in Rudy's room, the inhaler, the book bag, several other things that were ignored.
Signs and the red flags that she had discovered. They never followed through. So I think she needs to be interviewed in depth because she knows a whole lot. This woman was flying across the country, his mama, raising money to look for Rudy. Really using those trips as vacation trips. All in New York, raising money to look for Rudy. You understand me? There's a whole lot more to this.
Fraud.
She knows a great deal with whom I spoke with, and she is very knowledgeable about a whole lot of this stuff. But I'll let her speak for herself. No. Because my attorneys told me that I should not. Because he is a victim of a sexual assault in our opinion and in their opinion. And that I should not, for the sake of his personal privacy.
What's the difference between you describing what's in the case and you just releasing
Because that's my right to do so. And I wanted to they told me no, don't do that. I'm following wise legal advice. And that's none of your business. But Stanley Snyder. But anyway, Stanley Snyder. But no, told me not to. Yes.
Okay, I'm here. Y'all just asked, was there any other evidence or anything else, any other way?
Just say how you relate.
So my name is Michelle Rodriguez, and I'm first cousin to Rudy Farias, Janie's niece. Prior to Rudy's disappearance, his so-called disappearance, his mother had been seen by my late grandma of causing abuse to Rudy, sexually, physically, mentally. This did not just start when Janie reported Rudy missing. It was going on for quite some time before then. And did it start at this house? No. But Janie needs to be brought in, and the police letting her go, the DA letting her go, letting her walk free because they don't have no proof, and they say that there are no sexual assault proof. Y'all not gonna know that. I want to say something, but they're not gonna know that if they didn't take him to go get medically checked, and they refused to do that, and they let her walk. They're not gonna know what the hell she's really done if they didn't bring her in and put pressure on her to talk, which they're allowing her to do because they're covering up for themselves. They're covering up what they knew years ago, and they didn't want to come out forward. So the chief of police, the DA, and any other law enforcement that knew about this from back then, y'all are going to come out. It's all going to come out. You can't hide. Nothing's going to be hidden anymore. So whatever you think you can hide, good luck. It's coming out.
I'm sorry for the sound. It's the best I can do, you guys. That's Rudy's first cousin. Her mother is the lady in the pink. That is Rudy's mom's half sister. And if y'all can't tell, she pissed. She big mad. And I don't blame her.
Porque ayer el chief of police dijo que no había pruebas, que lo que dijo Quanell X que no era cierto, cuando había alguien más adentro que escuchó todo y están diciendo que no oyeron nada, ¿ok? 1. 2, están diciendo que no ha pasado nada y que Rudy tiene la edad que él puede hacer lo que él quiere y que Janie no le hizo nada. Janie sí le hizo algo por muchos años y ellos están diciendo que eso no es un sexual assault, porque no quieren que salga lo que ellos hicieron, que Janie sepa, y lo que ellos hicieron aquí, la investigación que hicieron aquí en esta casa, no salió todo en el reporte como debería. Sí. I don't know. I haven't gone that far to check. But if they were, I'm sure it was just an in and out because she had HPD to back her up. For various reasons, because she has contact with HPD prior to her relationship with Rudy Farias, the HPD officer that committed suicide, who is Rudy's father. She had other contacts in there, and they know that.
What do you know about Rudy's status right now?
No, he's with a family friend. When police reported that he was safe with family, then this report that he was safe with family, he was never with family. We have it on video who he was with and how he left the hotel. He didn't leave with no family. The hotel the other day. He didn't leave with family. He left with someone else who was a friend of his mother's.
Have you spoken to him?
No. Also, let me tell you something I learned that was interesting to me from speaking with the investigator. Rudy's brother died in a motorcycle accident. His brother had an insurance policy. You know who the brother named, according to the investigator, as the inheritor of the policy? His little brother, Rudy. Okay? But if Rudy dies, or if Rudy is no longer around and declared dead because he's missing, guess who inherited the money? His mama. When she discovered that, she told HPD to get in contact with her. They did not. There's a whole lot of stuff going on here that needs to be uncovered. Yes, sir.
Can you explain who's here with you today?
We have a
Well, might be frozen. My
Just for everybody to know, I did tell y'all that yesterday. Just for everybody to know. Crap. Sorry. I did tell y'all about that policy yesterday. I told you that she had to wait either 3 or 4 years for Rudy to be missing before she could have him declared deceased and collect that policy. I hope and pray she did. You know why? Because that's a criminal act right there. And that's financial crimes ain't no playing joke. Just like the GoFundMe, that ain't no joke. That ain't no joke. There's a lot that wasn't no joke. And the brother had a different father than Rudy. And as I understand it, I'm not sure if it was that husband or one of the other 5 that were also HPD officers, detectives. But there is another husband that was a detective for HPD, besides the one that was Rudy's father, that was her baby daddy, not husband.
Be frozen.
That needs to be uncovered.
Can you explain who's here with you today?
We have
Might be frozen, people. Best, but putting it back on right now. Just give me 1 second. Gonna go do another clip and another. Let's have a discussion. What is your banished? The so-called the service by playing this press conference. I know.
Okay, see what I'm saying? I'm telling you right now, that was not all. The lady in the hat spoke. The two neighbors spoke. I'm just going to tell you. The lady in the hat went over not only the charges that their legal team of it's the new something Black Panthers has found, but also the charges that members of HPD can face because of their lack of action and the actions that they chose to take. And then the gentleman in the blue hoodie came up and spoke. He was Rudy's friend. He knew him as Dolph. They moved into the neighborhood, him and the girl in the jean jacket named Keisha, in 2022. Rudy would come in their house daily and hang out in their garage and chop it up and hang out with them daily. The mother paid another neighbor $10 to walk around the corner and tell a neighbor to call her. She offered the young man in the blue hoodie $200 the night the story broke to break into her house and retrieve some of her belongings she had forgot. The one that she had called, she asked to go around back and wake Rudy up. Rudy was known to also have a pew-pew. The neighbors that spoke out feel that they were being set up because they knew too much. She also tried to offer the Keisha lady money to not speak and then to recant her story and say that she had lied. And that all was stated by those individuals during the press conference that said they had told the police. They didn't live there and didn't know the family 8 years ago when Rudy was reported missing. They had only known the family since 2022. They only found out about this story when the rest of the world found out about this story. And they came forward immediately. Immediately. By the way, the $10 for the phone call to go tell somebody to call them, whatever, that $10 was sent in a Cash App, so there's receipts for that. The GoFundMe in 2015, she did leave in the middle of the night, Annette. That was the Tuesday night. This was the night when she was at work in the evening before she came and packed the car up. The GoFundMe from 2015, GoFundMe has came out and made a statement. They stated what the GoFundMe said and how much she received and when she received it, and that it was paid to the Janie Salazar, whatever, his mama. Anyway, Santana, whatever. I'm so mad I can't see straight, y'all. Sorry. And I ain't going to lie to you. I'm in a lot of pain right now. There's no position that's comfortable. I hope and pray nobody ever suffers sciatica and tears their ligaments in their knee and tendons and pulls a groin muscle all at the same time. Because let me tell y'all something. I believe I'd rather have every tooth in my head hurt. Because you can't see it. I ain't been able to lay down for over 2 weeks. Anyway. Yeah, the mother was in hospice. It wasn't adult services. I understand it was a hospice agency, Dolores. And I kind of got frustrated. I'm not going to say who, but when I was watching it on Ikamel's channel, somebody kept commenting in the chat. It's actually a creator, a true crime creator, kept commenting that because the sister was saying that when her mom was staying with Janie and she was fighting for custody, she actually worked for the hospice agency that was taking care of her mother. And that she would go by and do well checks when nobody would answer the phone for a day or so when nobody hadn't heard from them, because she was suing, tried to get her mom out of there and tried to take custody because she didn't feel her mom was receiving proper care. And that she would go by and do well checks and document it. Someone was saying in the chat that you can't be on the case of your family member. Well, let me explain something to you. That is called bullshit. There's a program. It used to be called CAP. I don't know about LPN, RN, physician's assistant levels, but an in-home aide or a CNA 1 or CNA 2, you absolutely can be in charge of your family member. You absolutely can be the provider of their care and get paid for it. You absolutely can. It happens every day, all day in America. Okay? Yes, they did. Yes, Dolores. They did have, when the case was going to court and the allegations were made, they did have to contact APS, Adult Protective Services. And as I understand it, in most states, I know here in my state, every adult with common sense is considered a mandated reporter now. But any licensed individual, especially a medically licensed individual that observes any type of abuse, whether it's SA or physical or whatever, or neglect, and doesn't report it, not only can face criminal charges, but they can lose their license and their ability to practice in any capacity in the medical field. But when I say I refute loudly to that true crime creator that was saying you cannot be over your own case. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. You absolutely can, especially with hospice. You can with hospice. Non-professionals. Right, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Dolores. It is the moral thing. I agree with you 1,000,000%. Tennessee's another state that's like this. Every adult is a mandated reporter. In other words, if you see something, say something. Simple. If you see somebody doing something to somebody that you wouldn't want done to your ass or your child, open your damn mouth. Stop being bitches. I said it, whatever. I'm just fed up. There's so many cases that we've looked at recently in the true crime community of little children that would still effing be here, quite possibly, if adults hadn't been some self-made bitches. And that includes the ones that caused them to no longer be here. I know you would, Sassy. Sassy already loaded. Locked and loaded. I mean, but that's the realest shit that I can tell you right now. Don't. I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't no rat and I ain't no snitch. But don't you hit no woman, child, or elderly person or animal in front of me. Don't do it. Because after I knock the shit out your ass, I'm calling the popo and I'm telling. Because you know what? That ain't a snitch. Let me tell y'all what a snitch is. A snitch is when, Libby, you still in here? I want somebody that I know won't get mad at me for saying. I'm going to say me and my girl Whitney. When Whitney called me and she said, we going to go and we going to rob the diamond store, girl. All right, let's roll. And we plan it and we ride out together and we do it together. And I get away and she get caught. And she tell him I'm the one that was with her and where to find me so she could get less time. That's a snitch. We planned it together, we executed it together, and we were going to profit from it together. That's a snitch. If you do something to somebody in front of me, I'm going to tell. You can call me what you want to call me, but you ain't going to call me in the pen for a crime you did. What kind of fool I look like going to jail for something another motherfucker did? Shit. They done got me mad right now. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm talking out the side of my neck at the moment. And I apologize for my language and attitude, but I'm mad as hell. Listen, y'all remember the balloon boy? His parents got more severe penalties. And I know it's just a misdemeanor, but you can hold somebody on that misdemeanor long enough to get the other ish, because fraud, financial fraud cases that cross state and country lines is some big ish. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'd like a 38 snub nose revolver. That's what I'd love to have. The last I had was a Ruger 44 with laser sight. Watch for the red dot. Some bitch kicked like a 12 gauge. Right? You can do that too. And then you can send social services to do a random check. If it's a senior citizen, you can do a welfare check. It's what they call them here. I want a revolver. I have my reasons. Does anybody have any comments or questions about Rudy's case that you'd like to ask before I sign off? Because I think I might go on to urgent care and get rechecked, you guys, before they close at 10. If anybody has any questions, please ask them ASAP. I waited because this was that important to me. It meant that much to me. JLR, I thank you. I credit you. Guys, please, if everybody can just drop his link one more again in the chat for me to his live stream so everybody can go over there and watch the entire thing. I would greatly appreciate it. Tell him that Nita's World sent you. Rudy, at this time, as far as we know, the last update is that he's staying with a co-worker of his mother's who was afraid of the mama, believed the mama, and was kind of under the mama's thumb until she talked to Grizzy. That's Grizzy's Hood News on Facebook out of Texas, Houston. Go check her out. No, it's not a net. And the half sister that's you got to see the daughter speak. The half sister actually told it in the press conference that got cut off. That might have been part of the reason they cut it off. the half sister, and her oldest son, who is the oldest of her 3 triplet sons that she has. Her son was declined to be on camera and be seen. He was the first family member outside of his mama that Rudy wanted to see and saw in 8 years. And they talked for approximately 45 minutes. And then he agreed to see his aunt, the one that was in the pink blouse with the gray hair. And she got up and spoke and said, the family is pissed because HPD called Mr. QX a liar, that Rudy intimated to her that Mr. QX was telling the truth about everything, that he just didn't want his mama hurt. She thanks the aunt. Yes, she gave him a rosary from the Holy Land that's been blessed. And he is still with that co-worker who now doesn't want the mother around. And the aunt said that that son that Rudy visited with first, that she thinks that's who Rudy is soon going to be residing with. That's her belief at this time. That right now, they want him to be able to kind of breathe and get his head right and get him the services that he needs to make a full recovery and be himself. His aunt also said that he was raised in Catholic schools and that her mother, his grandmother, was an integral part of raising him throughout his early life. By the way, the mom that was on the hospice kept telling that sister that Rudy was in the house. That's why they wouldn't answer the phone when she called. That's why when she came over, it took 20 minutes or better for somebody to open the door and let her in. Because she said that her sister was scooting Rudy out the back door into the woods. And telling the sister, the half-sister, Rudy's aunt, that their mama was on medication and hallucinating. And not to make her feel bad, basically, you know. Y'all, there's a lot more to the story. Like, God, I can't remember if it's 96 or 2006 that the marriage annulment occurred because her husband alleged bigotry and she alleged infidelity and physical abuse and something else. And he was granted his annulment because she was already married to one of her other 5 husbands. He wasn't sure which one. And that article was, I believe, by the Insider. Oh. If anybody else has any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off. When I come back, the next time you guys see me, unless something else happens in Summer's case or Rudy's case, and I do want to bring out Natalia Grace. I've got a whole lot of stuff on that. Woo! That if I did one, I'll have to do 2 2-hour lives for that one. Yeah, she does need to come to Jesus moment. Agreed. I will release and read my emails from Stacy Slay, since everybody's brought them out there. The alleged fake FBI agent. I think there's a real Stacy Slay, and I think there's a fake one. The one that contacted me told me that her and her husband is a tax write-off would help one or more DVSA victims a year, usually locally from the shelter. They had like a mother-in-law suite external, and they gave them 6 months free rent to get on their feet there. And the money that she said she donated to Jody Sue, she was directed to do so through Facebook Pay, and it was a tax write-off. And I do have emails to prove everything I'm saying. That's the story I was told. That the only capacity that she, and I saw the emails, and that's not what the email said. I'm not saying that any other creator made anything up. I'm saying I got a different story than other creators, apparently. She told me the only capacity that she had worked in any LE was to help give victims a place to feel safe, and that they had offered that residence to Jody and her family. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I have proof that I was told that. Period. That's all I know to tell anybody. That's really all I know is what I was told in the email. I know who Linda is. It's why what was said about the emails from the dude that had Linda in it. It's weird to me that the original date that Stacy Slay is supposed to have been deceased this year in 2023 is April the 11th. That's my birthday. Somehow that just struck me odd. The lady sometimes was in my chat. I think she may have commented less than 5 times in my whole entire YouTube career. She sent me more emails than anything else. Once I heard she was deceased, I did reach out to her through email and through Facebook Messenger, and I have yet to get a reply. So that's really all I know. I did find an obituary, way more extensive than Jose Roman's. So at the very least, I say rest in peace. I don't know. I know how it feels to be a victim of identity theft. And allegedly, that was what I was between that and my survivor status is why I was reached out to. I wasn't asked to do anything, to say anything, to talk to anybody, to pass anything along to anybody. I was basically pleaded a case. They wanted me to know the real story, and that nobody needed to stress because authorities in several states have been contacted and we're looking into the matter. And I have proof of everything I said, and I'll release those in the next live stream I do. Peace, love, and light. Like I said, if anybody would like to help support the channel, please do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. I don't know if it'll be in the description box or not, but it's in the about section and on other videos. If somebody really wants to support and make a donation, they will. Peace, love, and light. See y'all all later. Love y'all. Thank you so much. And justice for Summer Moon Utah Wells and Mr. Rudy Ferris. Justice for all victims, all survivors.